Taiwo Kuye, Financial Secretary of the People's Democratic Party here in Lagos. He's supposed to have been here by now, but he's on his way. Let me come back to you, Mr. Ohazurike. He's talked about a lean government. He's talked about 720,000 jobs. You mentioned that earlier. He said 5 million jobs by 2019. But there are those who would wonder about antecedents. How would antecedents play in all of this build-up to, 2019?
Thank you very much. We have about 13 governors in Nigeria who are of the APC. And you see the way they run their governments. There's none that has distinguished itself to show that a lean government should be run. So if it is part of the manifesto of the APC that their presidential candidate will run a lean government and the state governors are not practicing the same manifesto, that raises the first issues and questions they have to answer. And he mentioned about entrepreneurial potentials. We're looking at a presidential candidate of APC who 30 years after he left the military still borrows money. He has 3 houses, one in Kano, one in Kaduna, one in Daura, his home state. He said he borrowed money to build a 3. He wanted to buy his form to contest for president. He borrowed money. We believe he's still borrowing money to run the campaigns. And we have not heard that there is any place where this presidential candidate of APC is doing legitimate business. So how can you, a man who does not indulge or involve in legitimate business, who goes around cap in hand, borrowing every day, now come and teach people or encourage
talking
people?
About somebody involved in a legitimate business,
Yes.
you can't substantiate
sorry,
that here.
Sorry, no.
Okay.
Sorry, he's on pension. Now, he has never, in all his declarations, 2003, 2007, 2011, 2015, he has never mentioned any business he is involved in. He says he has 3 houses. He borrowed money to build them. He has about 150 cattle. He was trying to declare his assets to answer Mr. Clean. He makes it look like you can't get involved in legitimate business without being corrupt. And that's the question we ask. That's the antecedent.
No, hold on. He is not the APC, is he? He's just a candidate in the APC.
Oh, sorry. By the time he emerges, just like the constitution of the APC allows that the governors are the leaders of the party in the states, if he is president, he will be the leader of the party in the country. And his views will count. You can't overrule that. His views will count, definitely. So he's a man who sees you, once you do legitimate business, he sees you as corrupt. Once you make money. Sorry. Why has he never? He has not developed himself since he left the army 30 years ago. No books, no memoirs, no lectures, nothing. There's nothing you can say, oh, that's a humanitarian cause he's pursuing. He is from the northwest of Nigeria. Polio ravaged that part of the country. We were getting donations from international. He never came out, even when certain societal and cultural issues were
that's your sympathies.
So we're talking of antecedents.
Oh, no, your sympathies. Yes. The party you say you have sympathies for has continued to happen developmental strides they've made.
Yes.
But the developmental strides are not on ground.
Now,
many people say they are not on ground.
Let me just answer it in one line. Somebody is so ill. Okay, let's just take the basic malaria. Somebody is ill with malaria and you give him drugs. Ordinarily, even in the everyday adverts we see, they tell you, if these symptoms persist after 2 days, please consult your doctor. And you give him drugs, whichever we think is the best of the drugs we can give, and in the morning and in the evening, you still say, he's running temperature. No. There is a time limit within which you expect that drug to work. Now, the PDP has run this country for 16 years. It's long enough time for certain developmental strides to have been concrete in Nigeria to say, oh yeah, on this area they've got it right, on this area they've got it right, on this area they've got it right. But we will not, if you count it from the experiments of, oh, democracy has just come and the experimental issues, and realizing that some of the persons who are now in the opposition were in very key positions, even in the PDP when this democracy started, you will now ask the question, and not just that they were in positions that were not executive, they were in core executive positions. A lot of them were governors in their states for 8 years. I mean, former governors, but they are now in APC. Danjuma Goje was a governor for 8 years. Abdullahi Adamu was a governor for 8 years, all in PDP. Now, if he is shouting that the PDP ruined Nigeria, the question now will be, will the 8 years he spent as governor and the ruins he may refer to in his state be accredited to PDP or accredited to him. Should be credited to PDP or credited to him. So these are the issues you will ask, because the inconsistencies in all these things is the reason why you will not say it is a PDP thing. The man involved.
Would you not leave the electorate to discern of all these inconsistencies? And for instance, the PDP talk about exactly what they want to do. This week, the president was in Lagos, and the Lagos State governor, for instance, he said he saw a president that was angry.
Yes.
Would you agree to that?
If a president was angry, he's human, he can get angry. He's angry that a lot of lies are being bandied around. And that's why he was angry. That's why he was angry. Statistics are there. Let me make reference to one very popular one he said. He said, when their candidate was in power, he did not buy one rifle for the army. He couldn't have made that statement if there were no records to show that from December 31st, 1983 to August 27, 1985, the Nigerian army did not acquire one rifle.
Mr. Awo was going to say something.
No, please. I will not want to join in the mudslingings of PDP, because the campaign strategy of PDP have always been mudslingings. Instead of tackling the issues, they tackle personalities. And we, as a civil political party, do not join ourselves for it. We look at the issues. We discuss the issues. We throw the issues to the Nigerian people. We throw the issues to the electorate and ask them to decide who is good enough to be the president or governor at whatever level. That is what we are doing. You see, just to say that my friend, the barrister, knows that even a few days ago in Lagos, he heard what his president talked about personalities. We are not going to join ourselves with it. So we are here to tackle the issues. If you talk about personalities, you look at it. If you look at it, there was a petrochemical industry that was supposed to be set in Obiakuru in Delta State, promised by Mr. President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria today, who is from the South-South zone. And that petrochemical industry, even the gas center, was supposed to produce 600,000 job opportunities. That is the area he comes from. That is the South-South zone. Today, do we have even one? Even when he promised this country that it was going to have 2 world-class fertilizer plants in cocoa, still in Delta State, in the cocoa free trade zone. They are not there. The employment opportunities are not given to the youth. You know, the industries are not created. Those are the central issues we are supposed to look at here and discuss them here. Now, when my barrister friend discussed about the APC, you know, that at least they have governors, and you know, they are supposed to change the structure. You can imagine, and of course you agree with me, that APC started barely a year ago. And of course, APC have been in the formative stage. This is the first major election APC is launching itself. And of course, if we see someone that is bad in PDP, take for instance, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, when he left the PDP, he made a statement. He said he can no longer tolerate what he was seeing in PDP. He said he was coming to a change that he has seen, and that he wanted this platform to change, and that he has seen the platform. That was why he joined the APC. And so if we see people that are in the wrong process, and who have also identified themselves to belong to a wrong process, and they are coming to us in the APC, we should welcome them to give them our manifesto, to give them our agenda, to begin to orient them on what we have to do, our policies. And that, of course, today they are buying. And so we are throwing it to the Nigerian people and now say, okay, here we are, in our country that we are slaves, in a country where we are perpetually relegated. We want to transform this country in quite a lot of ways. That is what we are coming to discuss here, not to discuss personalities. We are discussing on the issues. And we trust that our president, we are not going to discuss about our president, Buhari. There is no civil and legitimate Nigerian that doesn't know the president of Buhari in this country. There is no such person. Anybody who says he doesn't have, or he cannot even wear larger spectacles to look at Buhari, means he cannot have spectacles.
Mr. Kishide, can we really, in this campaign, can we really separate the issues from the people behind the issues?
Of course we can. We can only appeal to our friends and colleagues on the other side, you know, to refrain from this mudslinging. I align myself with my colleague in the APC. We will not go pedestrian. We will not go to the gutters. As far as we are concerned, we have thrown up some of the best minds in Nigeria as candidates across all levels in our party. If you're talking about someone who had been borrowing, for God's sake, our presidential candidate is a pensioner. is a military, he was a former